Miyagi technique first form. Wax on, wax off. Gah!
Daiko.
I'm gonna say this right now. If Pat was still alive, it would have been great if he was a character from Demon Slayer on God. I really wish Pat was still with us so we can do Demon Slayer. But anyways, guys, we are here. Welcome back to Karate Kid Month on the Buttery Show. I'm Leo, aka Leo-san. This is Mike-san, and we are here to talk about Karate Kid Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Goes to Japan.
Yep. Yes. The 1986 film that takes place directly after the first movie.
No, not directly after. 6 months later.
No, but the opening scene is literally at the end.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, because remember, Daniel-san is still halfway through senior year, but the movie must take place once he's graduated from high school.
Here's the thing. I thought he was a junior when we first... But to be fair, Ralph Macchio has looked like a teenager up until my cousin Vinny. Because keep in mind... And don't get... When we get to Karate Kid Part 3, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a blast. Because our boy Terry Silver and Ralph Macchio are the same age, but...
crazier. Terry Silver is a few months younger than Ralph Macchio. Younger.
Oh my
younger.
God. But he looks but look, again, we'll get to that in a minute. But guys, we are talking about Karate Kid Part 2, as we talked about before. And before we get started, if you are new to the Buttery Show, well, hello. How are you doing? Great to see you. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you have thought about the Karate Kid franchise, because we are going to be discussing after this Part 3, Part 4, and Kung Fu Kid, aka Karate Kid 2010.
It's actually funny when you think about it. The last two Karate Kid movies. First, you have Jackie Chan trying to teach a Karate Kid Kung Fu, but then in the sixth one, he's trying to teach Kung Fu Kid karate.
Look, I am honestly, I cannot wait to revisit Karate Kid 2010 because I will say this, maybe I was a little harsh, but I'm only saying that because Taraji P. Henson's my boo. Just saying. Anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.com/Buttery Show, YouTube.com/Buttery Show, Instagram @The Buttery Show. We're gonna be joining Threads soon. I gotta work some kinks out with that, and maybe TikTok so we can throw these highlights in. Because I know some of y'all been asking me. I know some of y'all been saying y'all been digging the Sinners review that me and New York Mike did. Thank you. And Mike, you and I have to talk about a specific movie that came out on Netflix recently with Taraji P. Henson. Because if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, take John Q, but put Taraji P. Henson in it, and make Tyler Perry the director. We need to do a Tyler Perry month. I am going to petition that the Butter Show has a Tyler Perry month, and we pick the most over-the-top Tyler Perry movies that are not Madea movies to review.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, at that point, it's going to be nothing but Madea. Like,
no, we're not doing Madea.
Movies even are there?
We're not doing Madea. We're doing all the over-the-top, over-dramatic Tyler Perry movies that 5 minutes in makes you go, hold up, I didn't cue this right. We're talking about we want to talk about the most over-the-top Tyler Perry movies that in the first 5 minutes makes you go,
what the hell is that?
Anyways, so like Daddy's Little Girls?
Daddy's Little Girls was good.
I'm not saying it wasn't.
Actually, no, it was over the top
minutes,
though. So yes, I'm talking about Daddy's Little Girls as well. Anyways,
because remember when we did Keanu month, we agreed, no Matrix, no John Wick, no Speed,
and no Constantine, because everyone loves Constantine.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we're not talking about Keanu. We're not talking about Tyler Perry. We're talking about The Karate Kid Part 2, which is a 1986 American martial arts drama film written by Robert Mark Carmen and directed by the returning John G. Alvidson. It is the second installment in the franchise and the sequel to the 1984 movie Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita. It follows Danielson, who accompanies his karate instructor, Mr. Miyagi, to see his dying father in Okinawa, only to encounter an old friend turned rival with a long harbored grudge against Miyagi. Which is honestly, I'm just going to spoil it. It's the pettiest freaking grudge I have ever seen on film. It's one of them. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, no, like even the storm scene, it was obscenely petty.
I'm sorry, he want to fight. Miyagi doesn't fight unless you piss him off.
Yeah.
By beating up children.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, speaking of which, let's talk about this movie. So this movie, this movie had a $12.5 million budget and worldwide made over $130 million. I think it's roughly the same amount of money that the first movie made, if I remember correctly. But let's talk about some of the cast members. Obviously, we're going to talk about our boy. Did you take the pictures down?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Listen, man, I need this.
Actually, here. No. I got you. That's why I save these things. Let's talk a little bit about Ralph Macchio. Now, we talked about this earlier, but if you didn't catch our Karate Kid Part 1 review, Ralph Macchio, this dude was in his 20s when he did Karate Kid. Just like, and funny enough, same thing with The Outsiders. I think he was like 20 or 21 when he did Karate Kid. And the year before, he did The Outsiders.
I'm just gonna say and be really simple about this. In Karate Kid 3, the lead actress, the homegirl from Teen Witch, Ralph was very explicit. I don't want her character and Daniel Larusso to have a romantic relationship. Absolutely not. Because there is a significant age gap between the two actors by that point in time.
Yeah. But no, so Ralph Macchio, we'll just go real quick. This man is the cornerstone of the Karate Kid franchise. Karate Kid 1, Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3. Came back for Cobra Kai for all 6 seasons and is in the new Karate Kid movie. He was also in the Outsiders, which we talked about earlier. He was in My Cousin Vinny, which we talked about in the last episode.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are undead.
Yep. Was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother because he's the true villain of Karate Kid. I'm joking, he's not. And I will say this retroactively, Mike, maybe you were right. Daniel should have never pulled that prank on Johnny Lawrence. I'm just saying. Also, on top of the fact that I'm sorry he couldn't run to save his own life. Why would you piss him off even more?
Mm-hmm.
I admit, maybe you were right.
Don't throw none unless you can take some.
But at the same time, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And Johnny started it all. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted, okay? So
exactly. It's like here you have the F around meter. Here you have the find out meter. And you got this hypotenuse. So the more you F around, the more you find out. The more you F around, the more you find out. Now, the less you want to find out, the less you have to F around. And that's a lesson that John Kreese is going to have to learn the hard way at the start of this film.
Oh yeah. So and also a lot of the cast members from the original movie only pop up for like the first 5 minutes of the movie. So, William Zabka,
McQueen, John Kreese,
John Creed,
Martin Cove. I meant, yeah.
Mark Hove, Zamka. They only show up for like one scene, and that's it.
Yeah, even Ellie does not show up in the movie at all, and neither does Daniel's mom.
Nope. Matter of fact, Allie's written off because apparently Allie fell in love with another guy,
a football player from UCLA, or something along those lines.
But we'll get into that. Anyways, let's get back into it. So Pat Morita, rest in peace. We've already talked about this guy and how much of a legend he was. Happy Days. Obviously the Karate Kid movies. He was also one of the stand-up comedians for the Red Fox show. Like he was touring Red Fox. And I would love to play
he played himself in Robot Chicken's Enters a Fat One.
Yes, I would love to. Honestly, I would want to play another clip, but I didn't have time to find another Pat Morita clip on YouTube. I'll just say this: if you want to know more about Pat Morita's comedy career before he got into film and stuff, look up Pat Morita. Type in Pat Morita stand-up comedy. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Okay. And then we also got a new cast member. We got Tamlin Tomita, who played Kumiko. The new love interest.
She appeared in a lot of TV shows later on, such as Heroes, Eureka, Warehouse 13.
Yes.
I think she was in one of the obligatory hospital shows. I don't think it was Grey's Anatomy, but she was definitely in an obligatory primetime hospital show.
I will actually look that up real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And yes,
she was in The Good Doctor. She was in The Good Doctor.
Good Doctor, that's the one.
I love The Good Doctor.
I told you, obligatory hospital show.
Yeah, she was also in JAG, 24, The Shield, NCIS Los Angeles, Walking Shadow, Providence, Earth, Nash Bridges, a very underrated what's that fool's name? From Miami Vice, Don Johnson. A very underrated Don Johnson show. She was also in an episode of Will and Grace, Chicago Hope, The Sentinel, I said Chicago Hope, Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh yeah,
and General Hospital.
And she was in Star Trek.
Yes, she was, and she was in Law and Order Los Angeles as well. What? Because again, if you're in Law and Order, you're set for life at this point. Because
and most importantly, she was in Cobra Kai.
Yep, she returned. Her character does return in Cobra Kai, so very happy about that.
Yes. Now Sato's actor was an Ultraman. We're talking about the Western seasons. Can't remember if it was the Australian season or the American season, but it's one of the two seasons that was not in Japan, but is still considered canon.
Yeah, here he is. Dan Kamikono.
And he appeared in one episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
And don't forget Hawaii. And he was in Hawaii 5-0. Mm-hmm. He was also in. Oh God! I hope we don't ever have to deal with this franchise. Problem Child. He was in the first Problem Child movie.
You mean the one with Elijah Wood?
No, yeah, I think that's the one with John Ritter.
No way,
right?
Good Son. Good Son
yeah,
was
I'm talking about the one with John Ritter.
Right.
Rest in peace to John Ritter.
Yeah.
Honestly, real talk. Let's just say this: if that was my kid, I ain't gonna say much else. But yeah, and then I want to talk about this guy real quick, a little bit. Homeboy who plays Chozen, Yuji Akamoto. Now Yuji Akamoto, hold up.
You're not gonna find a Wikipedia page on him.
Yes, I am. I already found it. Chozen? I found it already.
Chozen, not the actor. You're gonna have to go to IMDb. You're gonna have to do some deep diving.
Oh, okay. Wait, Chozen. Wait, when? Oh, never mind. What's that for? Yo, Chozen Taguchi, right? Chozen Taguchi was Sato's little a-hole nephew.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I found his Wikipedia page. What you talking about?
The character page, maybe.
No, I'm not talking about the character page. I'm talking about the actor, Yuji Akamoto. Now, Yuji Akamoto, I think we've talked about him on the show on the Butter Show a couple of times. He was in Better Off Dead, Real Genius, True Believer, in Cobra Kai. He was in The Truman Show, Pearl Harbor, Only the Brave, the 06 one, Inception, and Driven.
Why do I not remember him in any of those?
He was also in he was also in Big Mama's House 2.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wait, was that written by Tyler Perry? I know it's Martin Lawrence wearing the fat suit, but
it wasn't. Don't even try it. Yeah. He was in one episode of TJ Hooker. He was in one episode Law and Order. So not Law and Order. Walker Texas Ranger. He played a security guard in the Superman animated series. He was in The Sentinel, Jag, Just Shoot Me, very underrated show. He was in Johnny Tsunami, Martial Law, Max Steel, Guilty as Charged, The District, VIP. Came back for the Johnny Tsunami sequel. He was in the episode Bones. He played what do you call it? Young Gun from Young Justice.
Oh, he was the main character's dad in Johnny Tsunami.
And
now it makes sense. That's why I recognize him.
And he was in one episode of Grimm. And
so what you're saying? So what you're saying is Chozen's dad is Shang Tsung.
Yes. Anyways, Mike,
your honor is mine.
When did you see this movie first? Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. It wasn't from movies that don't suck. Because they only ever played the first movie. Now, if memory serves, it was most likely either on TBS or TNT or one of those free weekends on HBO, Star Cinemax, Epic, Sundance. And I'm pretty sure if that were the case, I probably DVR'd all three movies so I could watch them back to back. Because whatever means it was that I watched Karate Kid 2 for the first time, it was the same means in which I watched Karate Kid 3 for the first time. Or maybe I watched it on Comcast On Demand, because that used to be a thing. Before. So, if I'm being honest, I don't even remember when I first saw Karate Kid 2 and 3. All I know is that I basically watched them back to back. Maybe not on the same day, but definitely same weekend. And it was definitely not in theaters and not on DVD and not on VHS. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. So for me, I would easily say this was probably my first time watching the movie all the way. Because for me, I watched up until from when I remember, I watched up to the part with the first 5 minutes before the time skip, the 6-month time skip. That's the only thing I've ever watched this movie. So other than that, this is my first time going into the movie. I'm going in blind. Now, around the time I think the time I watched that first 5 minutes was around the time it was 2005. I was in Chicago for the summer. And it was also around the time when I watched the Three Ninjas series for the first time. And
I still haven't watched 3 or Surf Ninjas. All I know is that our friend Mike was in the third movie for Three Ninjas, and he
Which
played
one? Knuckles Up or Kickback?
It's the third one.
Well, yeah, keep in mind. Well,
he only appeared in the third one, and ironically, he played the character that was named Rocky. He was Colt.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, my bad. You're talking about our boy Mike. Big Bang Mike Lasky. I thought you were talking about our other friend Mike, not New York Mike, but our other friend Mike.
No.
Chocolate Thunder.
No. I'm talking about Michael Lasky. Like he was.
We know too many mics. Okay, listen. We know too many mics. Okay, there's too many.
It's like this. If I go to it's like this. If I go to any random bar, please drink responsibly. By the way, if I go to any random bar on any random day, there will be 2 other mics besides me. 2 every time. 2 of them, not 1. 2 of them. There will be at least 3 of us, myself included. So of course,
Anyways, but going what I was saying, this is another time I watched Three Ninjas, and I remember that Karate Kid Part 2 was on Encore. I always missed it, unfortunately. But it was cool because I was so into the Three Ninjas series. Specifically, my favorite movie in the trilogy is, before I found out it was a quadrilogy later on, was Three Ninjas Kickback when they went to Japan. Because for whatever reason, we're going to talk about the Three Ninjas series at some point, but for whatever reason, Three Ninjas Kickback came out the year before Knuckles Up. Knuckles Up was supposed to be the sequel to the first movie, but it ended up being the prequel. I don't know.
So basically, like Cruel Intentions 2.
Shut up. We don't talk about Cruel Intentions 2. Shut up.
It has the word 2 on it, but it's a prequel.
Shut up.
They wouldn't even have the decency to call it Cruel Intentions Origins. Jeepers Creepers 2 is also a prequel.
See, here's the thing. You know what's funny? I say this, and then I will also turn around and say that Speed 2 Cruise Control is not a bad movie. Just call it Cruise Control, a speed story.
I would just call it Cruise Control and leave it at that.
I know we're not gonna talk about that again because we can go on and on about that. But overall, this is my first time watching Karate Kid Part 2. Now, Part 3, oh boy. Anyways, let's talk about the movie. So, the movie, I'm going to tell you all right now, first 3-4 minutes of the movie, skip it. It is literally a recap up until you find out what happened after the tournament was over. Daniel, everyone, all the coaches from the different dojos and karate studios are.
Oh, by the way, Daniel. Real quick. This is the other reason why I compare Karate Kid to Rocky. Every movie in the trilogy starts off with like a montage of what happened in the previous film.
Yeah. It's Karate. No, Karate Kid is essentially Rocky for children because Rocky, despite all of us who are in our late 20s, going into our 30s, and also in our 40s, despite the fact that our parents let us watch those movies, it's low-key not for kids. We literally watch Carl Weathers' character, Apollo Crews, die in the middle of the ring, first 20 minutes into Rocky 4.
After James Brown did that one song.
We have to listen. We got to cover the Rocky movies soon because
all 9 of them.
All 9 of them, because Rocky is turning 50 in a couple of years. Actually, Rocky is turning 50 next year, if I remember correctly.
I know that Purple Rain turned 40 last year.
Okay, well, do you want to review Purple Rain?
At some point, yes.
Fine.
Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
Anyways, so after the tournament, everyone's congratulating Daniel and Mr. Miyagi, which, by the way,
even 2 kids wanted an autograph.
Even 2 kids from Reseda want an autograph. Yeah. They see our boy John Kreese pissed off and is about to whoop the dog out of Johnny Lawrence because Johnny Lawrence is standing up for himself. He's like, yo,
he broke his second place trophy, straight up broke it, and he started strangling the kid.
Yeah. So,
as Miyagi would say, no bad student, only bad teacher. Just as Ekans and Coughing would say, Ekans, Coughing.
So Miyagi intervenes, and John Kreese ends up, when he's trying to fight, boom, breaks 2 windows by accident. And Miyagi gets him down the ground.
And what's cool is that he repeats what John Kreese said in the first movie. Like stuff like, it's a mercy is for weak. Defeat your opponent immediately. No mercy.
I ain't gonna front. I laughed my ass off when that happened.
Yeah. You're gonna be disappointed at the end of the 6th movie because of one specific scene.
Oh boy. But anyways,
like so, if you're a nitpicker, you're gonna be disappointed.
I'm not. The only reason why I nitpick, especially now, because we forgot to mention the fact that in the tournament you need to be a brown belt or higher. And last time I checked, Daniel's son wasn't a brown belt.
He wasn't even a white
belt. This fool, literally, Mr. Miyagi used the power of Great Buddha, and like Great Buddha blessed us, and stealing shit.
Yeah, it's like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like when like he explains how like the Great Divide happened between those 2 tribes. It's like you could call it having a different perspective, or you could call it lying.
So and then Dan was like, "Were you really gonna kill him?" I was like, "Hell no!" If he was like, "Hell no!" Look, man, I fought in World War II. I ain't got. Oh, he's like, "I thought you didn't like violence." Like, I don't, dog. I fought in World War II, the Second Great War.
You expect me to kill a guy from the Vietnam War?
Italian, please.
Louis, wait, hold on. Guido, please.
Anyway.
Pesce, please.
So we go 6 months later. I honestly thought Daniel messed up that damn car. I was low-key pissed, but I forgot Mr. Miyagi knows how
to fix cars.
Yeah. So, and we hear Daniel getting pissed because it's like, yo, I went to prom. I'm trying to tell Allie, like, I like her. It turns out that she's fallen in love with some football player from UCLA. And I'm over. And I'm like,
when were you planning on drop? When were you gonna drop that on him?
Because of the fact that we couldn't get Elizabeth Shue back. Matter of fact,
I get that. No, I'm saying, like, Allie, the character. How long we're gonna wait to tell Daniel about this? It's like you're still together. You're still in a relationship, as far as I can tell.
Here's my thing.
Where'd you meet this football player?
How long
have you been seeing him?
I think I just answered my own question real quick. Oh no, she comes back. Good. I was gonna say I just answered my own question. They couldn't get what's her face, Elizabeth Shue back, because I think this is around the time Elizabeth Shue's trajectory after Karate Kid was pretty gnarly, because literally right after Karate Kid, she went to go do the Adventures in Babysitting, Cocktail, Back to the Future Part 1 and Part 2.
No, Part 2 and 3.
Married Man. Yeah, Part 2 and Part 3. My bad. But yeah, like her career, her trajectory just went up. By the way, if you haven't seen Adventures in Babysitting, very fun movie. Very fun movie.
You know what's hilarious is that she plays herself in the movie Hamlet 2,
Oh my God, we didn't talk about that.
So you have a drama teacher who wants to make a sequel to Hamlet, where he gets a time machine and meets Jesus Christ, and much like how Hamlet has to deal with his daddy issues, he has to help Jesus solve his daddy issues. And there's a scene where Jesus actually does the wind up for the crane kick, and Elizabeth Shue in the audience like, it's the crane kick, it's a crane kick. I'm like, girl, you left the franchise, you left Daniel for a football player in UCLA. You're not the last person who is in a position to get excited. Why don't you hop on a DeLorean with Marty instead?
And that's what she did. Real talk. But anyways, but no. So also we find out there's another ball that's dropped because I'm trying to figure out where Daniel's mama is. Apparently, Daniel's mama got picked up for the company that she works for to go to Fresno. And so he was supposed to go to Fresno with her for the entire summer, which means he can't train Mr. Miyagi. Turns out Mr. Miyagi is building a ADU or a guest home, and he's like, yo, what are you building? So I was like, oh, some refugee from Fresno. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I talked to your mama too. And guess what? If you would like, you can live with me in the summer. We can still hang out.
It's like that scene. You. It's like that scene from The Room where it's like, hey Johnny, want a pizza? I don't know, babe. I'm tired. I already ordered a pizza. Babe, you think of everything. It's like Daniel-san, you want to live with me? I don't know, Mr. Miyagi. I don't know how my mom will feel about it. I already called your mom. Mr. Miyagi, you think of everything.
And then this is when the bombshell happens. Miyagi finds out his dad is dying. By the way, that mailman is such an a-hole because it's like, hey, can I bring my wife to this place? This place is nice. I was like, dog, can't read. In the words of this new generation, read the room. Read the room. Matter of fact, read the courtyard.
Read the entire private property that you're standing on uninvited.
Anyways, so
Daniel-san pulls a Home Alone 2, but unlike Kevin, he actually does get on the right plane and actually makes it to the flight to Okinawa.
So after his mom off screen tells him that you can go to Okinawa with Mr. Miyagi to help mourn, which I will say this before we go any further. The biggest highlight for me for this movie is the relationship of Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita. There are some flaws to this movie, but the one thing I will say, which is the shiny beacon of this movie, is the relationship between Daniel and Mr. Miyagi.
I'm gonna be real with you. Karate Kid 2 is probably the most important Karate Kid movie. When you're priming yourself to watch Karate Kid 6, and let me tell you, I saw Karate Kid 6 yesterday in the movie theater, and
how was it?
I'll talk about it when we review it 2 weeks from now.
Can you give me a hint?
But all I'm going to say is Karate Kid 2 is the most important Karate Kid movie to prime yourself for it. But with that in mind, rewatching Karate Kid 2 after watching Karate Kid 6, I'm like, some of the scenes in this movie actually do hit harder. They do hit harder, especially the scene where they go to the Miyagi-do temple, where Miyagi tells Daniel about how his ancestor was a fisherman and he accidentally ended up washed ashore in China and then came back with what he made as Miyagi-do.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's it's priming us. It's priming us for the 6th movie. But the thing is,
hold up. So Miyagi ancestor, was great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, the son of a fisherman, who was the son of a plumber and was the son of Japanese American who managed to come into a good old Austin, Texas, just trying to get by, because he still walks with a limp. He still walks with the brace on his boot, and then borns a son who became the greatest of all time in professional wrestling. Adrenaline.
Are you talking about Cody Rhodes?
Yes, I am. Obviously, we know Cody Rhodes is not Japanese people, but low-key, this is like the setup of like Dusty Rhodes and stuff like that. This is what it sounds like. Miyagi is Dusty Rhodes, and Cody and Daniel's son is Cody Rhodes. In this, and Johnny Lawrence is Dustin Rhodes. Not the most liked, but is the most respected later on in his career. Bro, yo, if you make an actual Karate Kid I just set up a new dynasty. Karate Kid has more than one royal family.
I'm just gonna say to you what I told to Eric Betts, Ian McGuinn, and Mike Chat. We need new masters for the WMAC, and I nominate William Zabka and Ralph Macchio. Because they are legitimate. They're both legitimate black belts. They are legitimate black belts in Tangsudo and Ryuga-do.
Anyways, so they make it to Japan. By the way, what I really like is that Daniel is really trying to understand the history of Japan. He takes the time. It's not cultural appropriation. It's cultural appreciation and understanding and trying to learn the culture of a different country. He is taking the time to understand and is asking questions because he's not perfect at it. Mm-hmm. He's not perfect on the history, which is why I love the interactions he has with Mr. Miyagi, with Kumiko, and the other people, with Yuki, and all the other people in the Tume village, which is now on that air base.
Yeah, he is humble enough to ask questions to understand things more, as opposed to a lot of tourists who already think they know everything. And then do really stupid things, like that one Karen who got in that geisha's way to like take photos of her. Like, even just like looking at that stance she's using when she takes that photo pisses me off.
Just because you stayed in a country for a month does not mean you know everything. Gwyneth Paltrow. Anyways, so
Katy Perry. No, for real though. One time, Katy Perry did a concert in Japan wearing a Chinese dress.
Bro, I don't even want to go there.
You thought I was gonna go into space, didn't you?
Anyways, going back to what I say. So they make it to Okinawa. They run into Chozen. Now, Chozen, again, people, played by our boy Yuji Akamoto. He becomes a recurring character in Cobra Kai. Well, you'll understand why when we get there. But this is the first time we see him. So Chozen is the nephew to Sato. Sato wants revenge on Mr. Miyagi, and Mr. Miyagi tells
he was arranged to be married with Yukio, who was in love with Miyagi-san, but in order to restore his honor, they are the two brothers, because they were trained by the same father, had to fight each other to the death, but
for the love of one woman.
But Miyagi chose to spare Sato's life by fleeing to America. This was great dishonor upon Sato, so he held the pettiest grudge for 40 years.
You know what's even more petty? You know where I've heard this from? Two guys who were fighting for the love of one woman, one man was named Hamato Yoshi, and the other Oroku Sake. Who and depending on what variation we're talking about, either Yamato Yoshi becomes a rat, or Yamato Yoshi was killed in front of his pet rat, who then became a mutant by said Oroku Sake, who becomes the head of a ninja clan called the Foot, and became the greatest mobster, New York, leader of the New York underworld.
We know that a slug monster who's just a head becomes the head of the Foot, who team up with the Hand in order to defeat Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles in Hell's Kitchen.
Wrong.
I get it.
Or he was an undead warlord who literally used domain expansion to destroy all of New York, take out the Turtles, and a dude who's the equivalent of Superman. Okay, I'm done. So, Sato wants to fight Mr. Miyagi because Miyagi, it was dishonor that he didn't fight him, even though, like, I'm sorry, I'm not about to fight you over some woman. You want her? That's cool. I'm going to America. I've already dealt with enough during the war, okay?
Yeah, I'd rather not kill you. So it's not because I don't want to die. It's because I don't want you to die. Make no mistake.
So they end up going on a taxi to the village. Now, again, the village is now on a U.S. airbase, and this is where Miyagi meets his one-time girlfriend, who he loved, and also her niece, Kumiko, played by what is her name? I just said it.
Leah something.
Hold on. God dang it.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. I've watched enough Kamen Rider to know that if a random stranger offers you a ride as soon as you walk out of an airport, just say no. Don't do it. Because they might be an Austrian asteroid in disguise. Yeah, I referenced Kamen Rider X right there. But the point is...
X, don't give it to you!
But the point is, you know, like, I'm thinking of Kamen Rider. It's 1986. By this point in time, everyone in Japan would have already seen everything up to Z-Cross. Like, you know what happens when you get into a taxi with a stranger. They turn out to be cyborg Nazis. Why would you agree to this, Mr. Miyagi? Surely you've been to Hawaii enough times by now. Or they actually aired Kamen Rider, at least the original. I don't know if it was subtitled or in English dub like in the Philippines.
If you were to ask Miyagi that, if you were to tell this to Miyagi, this would be his response.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Jerry.
So he sees his father. His father says in Japanese, like, if I'm dreaming, please don't wake me up.
If I'm awake, please don't let me fall asleep.
Because he finally got to see his son and see this love of his son's life together again. And then you'll find out later on that she never married Sato. She
never married, period.
In the words of Haley Steinfeld,
simpin' ain't pimpin'.
No. In the words of Haley Steinfeld, I waited for you. Like, why'd you hell do that? Because you told me you loved me. Yeah, I told you to stay away from me too. I guess you didn't hear that part, huh? Yeah, I heard you. I heard you loud and clear. I'm not going to repeat what she said later on. But
wait, is this from Sinners?
Yes. I'm not going to repeat what Haley Steinfeld said.
Because I'm trying to... Because, like, the first thing that comes to my mind is Bumblebee.
No.
The review that started it all.
You got the touch.
You got the power. Yeah.
So we learn more about the village. So Sato went corporate, owns half of everything in Okinawa, including that village. Everyone's paying rent to him. They've torn down a lot of like the monasteries and everything like that. And also, again, Chozen is his punk ass nephew, who's making fun of Daniel for being a foreigner, making fun of Mr. Miyagi for being a coward that he didn't fight his uncle, even though once again Miyagi did the right thing. I'm not trying to fight you over some woman, dog. You and I are boys. Why am I like bros before the girls?
Yeah, with Miyagi, Miyagi took a page out of Spike Lee, and he did the right thing.
Bros before girls. That was why Miyagi, let me tell y'all something. This is why I love Mr. Miyagi. He saw a situation that was petty, ridiculous, and stupid because someone's going to lose their life over some woman and said, you can have her. I'm not going to fight you. It's like, it's like in season 2 of The Mandalorian when Mando beat Moff Gideon to get the Darksaber, and
he's like, "You're not worth it."
Bo-Katan got pissed because he was trying to give it to her. He's like, "Dude, I don't want it. I don't want to be part of Mandalore. I'm trying to take care of my little boy Grogu here, dog. You can take it. I don't give a damn about Mandalore. F that place."
Yes,
Grogu. Mr. Miyagi was the Mando before Mando was Mando.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
this is the way.
This is the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way.
The way of Miyagi.
You know what? We're gonna post. This is the way. We're gonna put that as our new clip. This is the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, but Daniel. By the way, in case y'all want to know, in case y'all didn't know, Daniel honestly takes a back seat because it's more of a Miyagi story.
Yeah, just like Back to the Future Part 3.
Yeah. Where Marty took a back seat because it was more of a Doc Brown story. But the subplot is Daniel starts falling in love with Kumiko. And it's even defending her because Chozen is a PAB. I ain't gonna, you know what it is. I ain't gonna say it. But he's literally falling in love with her and is loving the lessons of the culture of Japan. But also, Mr. Miyagi is teaching him a new fighting style, essentially dodge and parry. Why
don't you dodge?
He's also learned the Obon dance, which is pretty much think of like the Japanese culture's version of Day of the Dead. That's the best way to put it. Because Mr. Miyagi's dad does pass away in front of Sato and Miyagi because of the fact that was Sato's teacher. He's like, listen,
I'm gonna give you time. I'll give you a Hail Mary. Give you time to bereave, but in 3 days, you will fight me. Oh, you are coward!
Like, no, it's like this. Listen, I have respect for you, your father, who was my teacher, and was the best mentor I can ever have. Take the next 3 days to mourn. I will help you make the arrangement. Well, he didn't help him make the arrangements, but make the arrangements.
Once 3 days are passed,
you're gonna run this fade, dog. You're gonna run this fade.
Mm-hmm.
Run this fade. You are going to run the fade with me once and for all. And that, because when you beef with me, in the words of Cardi B, you gonna beef with me forever. So Miyagi, but again, Miyagi does not want to fight this fool for all the right reasons. Mm-hmm. I ain't doing anything wrong, dog. Again, I left the situation that was going to be ridiculous. I took my flag and planted it in Reseda, California.
Yeah.
So, also, Daniel's learned this breathing technique where you breathe in, breathe out, slice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's the Daidaiko technique, Like he uses the drum. And then like he does his best Jamie Webster impression by like breaking through like 6 blocks of ice.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Jamie Webster is, he was a WMEC master, key symbol, Great Wolf, and he actually did break through like a thick stack of ice. And yes, he is a Native American martial artist. So that's really dope. But yeah, so it's like 3-1 odds that you cannot break ice. And then Miyagi's like, I will take a bet. I do not $600. I do not have money for that. And then Satoru's like, you have your wagers covered. Of course, Daniel's like, what? Like a lot of the movement just felt so unnecessary, you know. But he pulls it off, and of course Daniel does get the money, so that's like $1,800, like right there. That's
in U.S. currency.
In U.S. currency, and it's like he cheated or something. It's like Chozen, you dishonor me. First, you dishonor me by trying to make this wager. Then you dishonor me by being a sore loser.
By being an idiot.
You will never be like that sweet boy Zuko over there. And here's the thing. Karate Kid's knockoff, sidekicks, his sensei was played by Mako, who played Uncle Iroh. So going full circle,
we're gonna have to review. We're gonna have to review sidekicks at some point, aren't we?
Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna tell you, when I was studying martial arts, I remember my sensei saying something very specific. It's like, here we're gonna do punches, we're gonna do kicks. You better duck, you idiot. But there's one thing we never do in this dojo. We don't do that stupid kick thing from the movie Sidekicks. I don't care. I don't care that our fighting style was brought to the U.S. by Chuck Norris himself, which is true, by the way. No, if I catch anyone doing that stupid move from the movie Sidekicks, you are banned from this dojo.
Time out, which kick was it again? Was it the one at the end when he kicked Joe Piscopo?
No, it's the one in the beginning when the main character and Chuck Norris lock their arms and then they go in a circle, like repeatedly round kicking a circle.
Oh, that! Oh my god! Oh, that was bad. That was so... Look, no disrespect. Listen, I don't want to disrespect the dead. Rest in peace to Jonathan Brandis. But that was that right there. I was a gullible 8-year-old when I saw that movie. That was stupid. Mm-hmm. That was so dumb.
Yep.
Anyways, so Miyagi obviously tells him with this $18, put it in your tuition for college.
Yep.
Any other, or at least take a little bit out for the Chinese food that you are going to be paying for tonight. So,
yep. Like, oh wow, Chinese food in Japan, that's amazing.
So, Macchio takes Kumiko out on a date, and they hear the song, rock around the clock tonight, which was the original theme song, Happy Days. Chozen and his gang are there. They start harassing Daniel and Kumiko, and Daniel pulled a Johnny Cage on his ass.
Oh yeah,
nut punch.
Yeah.
All you were missing was the splits and the $500 sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have easily said Ralph Macchio could have been Johnny Cage in a different.
I could have sworn he could have had a pair of sunglasses in that scene. I don't know why they chose not to give him one.
Yeah, shame. But anyways, But then Chozen and his crew go back to where the village. They completely wreck the Miyagi dojo. And Miyagi comes and whoops their ass.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
This is something you're going to see a lot in the Karate Kid franchise. Mr. Miyagi single-handedly whooping a whole squad of fools.
A whole squad of kids, a whole squad of young adults, a whole squad of old people.
A whole squad of Mike Ironsides.
Mr. Miyagi's hands, just like Yusuke Urameshi's, are
rated E for everyone.
Especially Sato.
He wants it to be rated N for no one, but they're rated E for everyone.
Especially for Sato, after Sato literally starts wrecking the hell out of that village. And he says, you know what? Cool. You want to buy the land? That's fine. You want to run this fade, fool? We finna do it, fool. Here's my only catch. If I win or if I lose, you give this village back to the people. And so I was like, oh, that's too much. He's like, oh, really? You scared?
What's your price for honor? He said the H word. That's his trigger. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like Zuko. Honor.
I'll bring back honor to my father once I capture the Avatar.
I'll bring back honor to my father once I capture the Avatar. See, it's hard to do Dante Bosco.
I will bring back honor to my father once I crap. Daddy, do you notice? Did you see, Daddy? Did you see?
Very clever. Now, who has my father? Uh-oh. Someone has some daddy issues. Nothing could be my father from the truth. Who? You said my father. No, I didn't. How? Did not. Shabba! For me, this is a dad issue. Dad issue! Dad! Dad be dad! Oh. Daddy didn't love me!
I knew this was the perfect time to make that Austin Powers reference. You gotta give me one. You gotta give it to me. Bam! So, next thing you know, Kumiko is trying to marry. Actually, no, they're doing the tea ritual, which is like they're trying to either fall in love or falling back in love because she has fallen in love with Daniel, and obviously Daniel's on the.
She pulls out the pin holding her hair up, like, and you know, in Japan when that happens, you know.
Ooh. Yo, Sanji in One Piece, eat your heart out, dog. They finna kiss. Mm-hmm. And then the bell rings. There's a storm that's about to hit their village.
Oh hell no! 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 Oh hell no!
Oh hell no!
And what's really funny is that there was an earlier scene where Miyagi does talk to Sato, where like Sato's trying to break like this giant wooden log.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, and I remember Miyagi saying this one joke. It's like, well, could you break that log? It's like, I was never attacked by a tree, so I wouldn't know. You know, I love Mr. Miyagi's sass when it shows up.
I love it too. Man. So as the storm is hitting, it is literally destroying the village. It's destroying their village. And Miyagi and Daniel make sure they get Yuki, Kumiko, and all the villagers to the shelter. Mm-hmm. Sato and Chozen is saying, "Yo, my uncle's over there," and they rescue Sato.
Squat. He doesn't do squat to save Sato. Miyagi and hold on. I got this. I got this.
Finish it up. I got you. Go ahead.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah. After all is said and done, you never run. You never fall. You. And then it's like you're running to the eye of the storm. Anyways, by the way, fun fact: Transformers the movie came out the same year.
Yeah, it did.
It did. So this song it's time appropriate. You're at your best when the going gets tough.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
You're running towards the eye of the storm. You got the touch. It's like it's Sato being a hater. He's like, oh, look at you. You're a coward. You tried now to kill me while I'm completely immobilized in the middle of the storm because it's the only way you can defeat me, you stupid coward.
Oh my god, you actually saved me. Okay, come on.
Yeah, it's like, oh, for the first time. It's like, mentally, Miyagi had to like fantasize getting attacked by a tree. It's like, I'm being attacked by a tree.
You got to deal
That's done.
And then he's like, but why? Why you saved me? Because bros before girls. Bros before girls.
And let me just but turns out a little girl is trapped on top of a tower and no one could save her. And who is it that runs towards the eye of the storm? Daniel-san. He runs to the danger. He is the storm. He is the danger. He is.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Exactly.
I really hope Disney does not snipe us on YouTube for that.
And Daniel's like freaking climbing up that ladder. And it's slippery too because it's raining hard. And Daniel is probably covered in mud on top of that because he was like helping save Sato earlier. And Sato's like, Chozen, you must restore honor to this village by helping Daniel-san rescue that girl. And Chozen's like Homer Simpson, like when he goes to that bush. It's like, no, you are truly dead to me.
Nah, he said this.
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
Yeah.
That's what Chozen said to him.
Yeah. And let me tell you, if Sato dies, I'm just going to say this.
I feel sorry for the child. Your father would rather be dead than take care of you. Damn, that is tragic. What a complete jackass.
So naturally, the next day, Sato pulls the 180. He's like, I watched an episode of Captain Planet, and you have opened my heart, Daniel-san. So I will dedicate my resources to rebuilding the village that has been completely decimated by the storm. Meanwhile, we will return the festival to the temple, but under one condition. You must celebrate with us.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's like everyone's partying, everyone's having a good time. Kumiko's about to do her fan dance. And I'm not talking about that thing that Nichelle Nichols did in Star Trek 5. I mean like a proper but before you know it, and everyone's like,
oh, hell no! 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 Oh, hell no!
Oh, hell no.
He's like, Daniel, you and I will fight to the death. It's like, yo, man, chill. I'm just here to hang out. I got no beef with you. It doesn't matter. And then like Sato's like, Chozen.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yes.
Like the guy is freaking dressed up like he's freaking Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. He's like, I am Chris Castanessa, and you are Haki Malston. We will fight for the Dragon Star in the way it was meant to be done in Mortal Kombat.
So Daniel and Chozen fight to the death. Chozen pulls a Rick James and backhands Kimiko, which pisses Daniel off, then learns total concentration, breathing technique. First form, breathing
and
technique.
even Sato does the Daiko technique.
And whoops on Daniel. Now whoops on Chozen. And as he's about to go for the strike, he's like, do it.
Finish him.
Let me die.
Life or death, man. Life or death. I chose death. Wrong answer. Honk.
He saves you, Kumiko. The everyone cheers. He kisses Kumiko. And that's the end of part 2.
And Mr. Miyagi's like,
oh yeah. No, this is who he was like. Every time I close my eye. Okay, no, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't gonna do that. There's not much to say. I've pretty much said a lot of what I love about this movie, and it's honestly a big improvement over the first movie, considering the fact that it is more of a Miyagi story. And it could be a positive or it could be a negative to some who would be watching this movie for the first time. I see it as a positive. Because we finished Daniel's story. He learned karate, beat the bullies, got the girl, and got the respect of the other competitors, including his teacher. This movie is all about going back to the beginning, going back to back in time. We are going back in time with Miyagi to figure out why he left Japan, why he didn't fight Sato, and everything in between. That's good. And we got to see some culture. Also, the fact that Kumiko wants to be a dancer. Hopefully and I really hope that when I watch Cobra Kai, she tells Dan, I became a dancer and became an instructor later on. Hopefully that happens, because I've not seen Cobra Kai. Do not spoil it. As I said before, Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita's chemistry is such a gem to see. I love the chemistry between Ralph Macchio and what is her name?
Tamila?
There's
an L in her name. That's the weird part.
Tamilin Naomi Tomita. Tomita. Okay. I love the chemistry between Ralph Macchio and Tamilin Tomita. I honestly I know she doesn't come back in the next movie, which sucks. I really wish they would continue that, because literally he found the girl. Because this girl is not going to leave him for a college football star, and she's not even 18 yet.
Yeah, that part was weird. Again,
I'm not going to go.
How long has this been going on? Because this was 6 months.
Mike. This is the 80s. And in the 80s, there is no logic.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I'm not going to question it anymore.
Symphony.
I gave this movie. I gave the first movie an 8 out of 10, if I remember correctly, last week.
Yeah.
I'm giving this movie a low, and I do mean low, 9 out of 10. I think this movie did so much right and made so many improvements. First of all, and shout outs to this movie. That damn crane kick did not work this time because I'm sorry, Daniel. Not only was that stupid thing choreographed and could never work in real life, Daniel would have gotten disqualified in real life in an actual martial arts tournament if he tried doing the crane kick. It doesn't work. You can actually kill someone.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even if it was tournament legal, you know what my issue with it is?
What?
It is obscenely telegraphed.
Thank God, Chozen grabbed his foot and grabbed his leg and elbowed the hell out of his hamstring. I'm like, thank you.
Like for me, it's like I've studied martial arts, and I've seen jumping scoot kicks that were less telegraphed than this. You're going to get the same effect. You're going to hit the same target. You're still going to hit them the same way with the same part of your body, but it's less telegraphed because, I don't know, doing this for like 5 seconds at best kind of gives away that you're going to do something.
There's a whole lot on why I don't like that damn crane kick, but
yeah,
we got the time nor the patience to
one time I had a rambunctious kid because I work with kids who tried to use.
Right back.
Like I had a no. You stay. I want you to hear this.
I gotta get my charger. My phone. My computer's gonna die. I'll be right back. You go ahead.
I'm not finishing that story until you get back here because you specifically need to hear the story because it is a massive load of cringe. I really hope none of the other kids were TikToking that situation because I would feel bad for that kid if it was my kid. If they did actually, because kid, you should know better. Now, you're probably wondering, what am I talking about? Well, as soon as Leo gets here, I will explain in excruciating detail what happened in the story that I am bringing up and clearly not stalling you out on in the climax of this story. So let me tell you what happened. A rambunctious kid winds up for a crane kick at me. I'm like, and I tell this kid, listen, you're not a martial artist. You have no martial arts background. And if you did have a background in martial arts, you will know that what you're doing
is stupid.
Is not a good idea.
It's stupid.
Yes, you're going to hurt yourself if you do this. They did not listen. Now, I could tell you a version of a story that didn't happen that would have ended with me getting fired, and it would probably satisfy you to hear, oh, maybe I swept the kid's leg because they left themselves vulnerable, or maybe I grabbed their leg like Chozen and destroyed their hamstring. But no, that's not what happened because I care about my job. No, what I did was when they did the kick, they followed through on the kick. I simply sidestepped away from them. They missed me, and then they fell. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the ground was his enemy. But as Sun Tzu would say, the real enemy is yourself.
Yep.
So let me tell you, from experience, the crane kick is stupid. Don't do the crane kick. Even if you were in a life or death situation where the use of martial arts was completely justified, don't do the crane kick. It is the third most idiotic attack anyone could use in real life. Number 2 is headbutting. It's just super impractical. Even if you do it correctly with your parietal lobe, it's like you don't have that much kinetic energy to use it correctly. Well, not correctly. You don't have enough kinetic energy. Sorry, you don't have enough potential energy to convert to the kinetic energy needed to have a desired effect. Why are you even doing it? And a lot of people, on top of that, do it incorrectly by you using their frontal lobe like a hammer, which is stupid. Now, do you want to know what the number one most dumbest attack is?
What?
You actually see this in Spy Kids 2. Literally kicking someone's butt.
What? You see, I had to really think about that scene. If you had just said King of the Hill, where Hank was literally kicking someone in the butt, I'm like, all right, cool.
But see, Hank was not like using it as a practical fighting
He was using it just to whoop someone
from behind. Yeah, it's more of a hazing than anything. But as like an actual practical fighting technique, literally kicking someone's gluteus tissue is stupid because the gluteus muscle is the densest muscle in your body. And it's the most protected part of your body in terms of muscle tissue. So the only thing you will get out of literally kicking someone's butt is probably a couple of broken toes.
What's your rating for this movie? Because we
9.
got to get out of here. All right, 9. Good. All right, good on you. Anyways, we don't really have a lot of comments tonight, which is okay because they're really. I love this movie. I know you love this movie, but on the next Buttery show, we are going to be reviewing my personal favorite movie in the series, and that is Karate Kid Part 3 with your boy Sean Cannon and my boy Terry Goddamn Silver, baby. Let's go. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the Buttery Show. Thank you guys so much who've been following us. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on the Buttery Show before the end of July. So please share this. There are going to be interviews that we're going to be posting. We're going to be going into I'm be posting episode 9, episode 10 of G-Quox. I apologize for the delay. I'm watching Char's mostly Gundam Char's counterattack because there's a specific thing that in episode 9 a certain character spoils, and I need to know what the hell happened because in Char's counterattack, something happens. I'm 20 minutes into Char's counterattack, and I will easily say it's one of the best anime movies I have ever watched in my entire life. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Matter of fact, where's put banner up, Mike? Put banner up. Come on. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at @Rex_Fox, YouTube Rex_Fox, and find me on Twitch.tv/RecklessFox. I'll be back this week. Resident Evil 4 remake this Wednesday. Super excited. Mike, where do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. But before or after his Twitch stream, we will be doing Karate Kid Part 3 on Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Let's get this.
I'll be streaming in the afternoon. So so when we do Karate Kid Part 3, it'll probably be like around 8:00, which is perfect.
Yeah. Also check out our sister channel, the Morphin Network, where we talk all things tokusatsu. Tomorrow on that channel, we will be discussing the second film from Kamen Rider ever, known as Kamen Rider versus Ambassador Hell. I know we kind of like skipped over it 2 weeks ago, but we're doubling back to make the rounds, and we'll double it and come back twice around because after all, this is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
And yes, and because we're doing Karate Kid 3 on Wednesday, we will be moving Kamen Rider Go to Tuesday just for this week only. And yes, we got some interviews in from Power Morphicon, namely Princess Shayla and Campbell Cooley. So we got a hero and a villain back to back. And We got a lot more interviews coming up from both Pasadena Comic-Con and Robo Toy Fest. A lot of comment to film. Please give this guy a lot of love because like he needs you in his corner. And
cash at me. Yeah. I'm joking.
Yeah. For all of you in Atlanta, Georgia right now, we hope you guys are enjoying Ranger Stop and Pop. Naturally, tomorrow will be the last day of the convention, so make the most of it. We love you guys. And if you want to say hi to our boy Jake, he will be at G-Fest at the Hyatt in Chicago, Illinois, July 11th to the 13th. But if you want to say hi to us, September 7th at, if I'm not mistaken, Pasadena Convention Center. I will correct it if it turns out to be in Burbank. Ryan will be at ToonCon. I don't know if 2 of us will be at ToonCon with him, but Ryan will absolutely 100% guaranteed will be at ToonCon.
I will in August. I am planning to go to the Metal Gear convention in Ontario, California. One of our interviews from Pasadena Comic-Con, Charlie Schlaughter, the voice of Rykov from Metal Gear Snake Eater, informed me about this convention. I didn't know about it until I looked it up. So I will try and go to Metal Gear Con. If you are there, hit me up. I'm gonna try to get some interviews there myself. So until then, guys,
I loved him as Dr. Dick in Shameless.
Dr. Dick, yes, that was the guy. Oh man. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. This is the Buttery Show. Signing out. Till then, hug your loved ones. Update your medical, your first aid kits, and remember, hugs not drugs. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.